How's it going, everyone? It's Abdallah here, bringing you guys another awesome Pokemon Sun and Moon update video. The Pokemon Company International has just gone through and uploaded a brand new trailer on their official YouTube channel, which shows a lot of fun stuff. Now, to avoid spoilers or anything, I'm going to go through, we're going to hide for a second, and then we're going to come back and we're going to analyze everything detail by detail with accompaniment of the official Pokemon website. So we learn even more about everything that just happened. Alright, I'm pretty excited, so if you guys are excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon, smash that like button, share the video with a friend, and let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to hide for a sec, and we're going to go. Let's do it. Okay, so what did you guys think of that? Was that awesome or what? Holy moly. Oh my gosh, I am getting even more excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Alright, so let's go through and take a look at this trailer bit by bit, and we'll learn even more about this awesome game. Man. Alright, so here we go. Starting off at the beginning, we are learning some brand new evolutions for our starter Pokemon, which is great. This one was a little bit of a mouthful. Decidueye. A lot of people are going to be mispronouncing this thing all over the place. The reason how I come up with Decidueye is like a deciduous forest. It's not Decidueye. One of the things about Pokemon is that they need to come out with an official pronunciation guide. I know that we've done like Pokemon 3D Pro or whatever for some canon pronunciations, but this is interesting. So we have Decidueye, a grass ghost type. He looks pretty cool. I mean, he's got talons. It looks like he's got some sort of hoodie going on. He kind of takes the role of like an archer, to be honest. I think that is pretty awesome. He's got the ability Overgrow, which is good. He's got a special move, which is Spirit Shackle. Wow, yeah, here, let's look at Spirit Shackle one more time. Spirit Shackle, he totally launches a... he like strings an arrow. You can see that he has a very tight bow within his wing. He goes through and launches an arrow. It zooms around. It's a curved shot and totally blocks his opponent from switching out. That's pretty awesome. All right, so what we need to do right now is go through over to the brand new updated site. So taking a look over here, if you go to Pokemon sunmoon.com, you guys will be all set up. Final evolutions of starter Pokemon. So of course we see Decidueye, Incineroar, and Primarina, which is going to be really awesome. So let's do this. Decidueye, we'll learn a little bit about him. Alright, we'll zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so Quill Arrow Pokemon. I've been on an Arrow binge on Netflix for the longest time, so I'm getting caught up. That's one of my favorite shows. So I'm really happy to see that he's kind of taking that kind of role, so he's like shooting arrows at stuff. Alright, so this Pokemon is able to move about while completely masking its presence from others. Once an opponent has lost sight of it, Decidueye seizes the chance to attack it unawares. Good. In a tenth of a second, Decidueye plucks an arrow quill from within its wing and sends it hurling towards its target. Its speed is astonishing, but no more so than its precise aim, which enables the arrow quill to pierce the target through and through from half a mile or more away. Half a mile? Are you kidding me? Decidueye usually acts very cool, but can become terribly flustered in unexpected situations like a surprise attack. A skilled Decidueye can boast acrobatic curve shots. It seems some are also more able to shoot arrows that reach up through the sky, only to come drilling down from above, piercing multiple targets, one after another. Reminds me of Monster Hunter Generations. Spirit Shackle is a ghost-type physical move that only Decidueye can learn. An opponent hit with this move will become unable to flee from battle or switch out for an ally. That's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see how we're going to use that in the metagame, the competitive Pokemon metagame. Of course, is Decidueye going to be a physical-type Pokemon, or are we just going to make him special and go from there? The ability Overgrow, boosting the power of grass-type moves when you're in a pinch. It's okay. I mean, it's standard for like all the grass starters. So anyway, that's pretty cool. All right, let's jump back in. We're going to jump back into our trailer over here, and let's go. All right, so we're moving on. So now we're learning about my favorite of the starters, Litten's evolution, is Incineroar. Incineroar is a fire dark type. Okay, that's great. We finally broke the final form. Instead of being like firefighting like every other starter, we're going fire dark this time around, which is cool. I mean, he does look like he could easily be a fighting type because he's got like a wrestling belt looking thing on. He looks pretty buff, and like his background is in like a fighting ring. He's in an arena, so he could have easily been firefighting. But I'm pretty sure that Game Freak's like, all right, I think the audience is going to be pretty upset if we go through and get another final evolution with firefighting. So, yeah, Fire Dark, we're all happy about that. So right over here, Incineroar's signature move, Darkest Lariat. So he comes spinning at you, and boom, it says it ignores the opponent's stat changes. So he totally does that on the Alolan Raichu, which is pretty cool. So anyway, we're going to jump over here, and we're going to learn a little bit about him simply by clicking over here on the site. Done. Incineroar. Heal Pokemon, Fire Dark, 5'11", 183 pounds, ability Blaze. Again, boosting the power of Fire-type moves when you're in a pinch. Looking really cool. I love this. I love this a lot. Let's see. As its fighting spirit increases, the flames that Incineroar produces within its body burst from its navel and waistline. Since the flames somewhat resemble a championship belt, they're known as its Flame Belt. And the Pokemon unleashes moves that use flames from it. In the heat of battle, Incineroar shows no concern for its opponents and sometimes even launches attacks that strike the opposing trainer. Whoa. As a result, many tend to dislike this Pokemon and keep it at a distance. Imagine that. Like, you have, you're fighting an Incineroar. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to run because I might get burnt here and I don't want to go to the hospital today. If a crowd watching it battle is pumped up, Incineroar's fighting spirit will burn brighter. But a lackluster crowd can make it lose focus and fight shoddily. When it receives admiration of young Pokemon and children, it may keep up its cold attitude on the outside, but in its heart of hearts, Incineroar is immensely happy. It loses the desire to fight when faced with a Pokemon that's clearly weak or injured, and it sometimes gets taken advantage of as a result. Ooh, wow. Alright, Darkest Lariat is a Dark-type physical move that only Incineroar can learn, and it allows Incineroar to deal damage while ignoring the effects of any stat changes that the target might otherwise be affected by. I mean, that's okay. That's cool. Make him a physical type. Go through 252 attack, right? 252 speed, I'm thinking. But yeah, it's kind of like unaware, but like in a move. So that's pretty nice. All right, so Incineroar, ladies and gentlemen, looking really good. All right, so let's move on with our next Pokemon. Right over here, Popplio's final evolution is going to be Primarina. Primarina, not Primarina, or we don't know. I'm just calling it Primarina because, you know, prim and proper, like an elegant female-looking Pokemon right over here, right? Prim? Anyway, and Marina being a Marina because it's water type. All right, so this one here, Sparkling Aura, it says it heals the burns of any target that it strikes. Why would we want that? That's interesting. I honestly, I'm at a loss as to how we can use that competitively. Why would I don't know. I'm honestly at a loss with it. A soloist Pokemon, Water Fairy, 5'11", 97 pounds, Torrent ability. Very cool design. I like the hair. I like the beads. I like the mermaid-esque tail. It looks pretty cool. So as it dances, Primarina releases balloons of water into the area around itself, moving them using the sound waves from its voice. The sight of moonlight reflecting off its glittering balloons create a magical scene. Since Primarina controls its balloons using its voice, any injury to its throat can become a grave problem. Its greatest enemies are arid environments and the overuse of its voice during back-to-back battles. Among the balloons that Primarina releases, some explode when touched, while others do not. Primarina jump on the non-exploding balloons while they make sport of their opponents, and they use the exploding variety to trigger chained explosions. Primarina's songs have many variations, and each one changes the emotions of the balloons. It has been observed that songs are shared among Primarina living together, so different colonies end up knowing different songs. Okay, good to know. Sparkling Aria is a water-type special move that only Primarina can learn, and it heals the burns of any target it strikes. So does it... I don't know. Like, so let's say you're on a doubles battle and your... heals... I don't know. I honestly... You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments. How would you physically use this? It's like, okay, well, I got a Scald Burn on this guy over here, or my partner got a Scald Burn, and like the only special move that I have on this Pokemon is Sparkling Aria, so I'm gonna heal the burn. I mean, unless it's like, okay, if an opponent's burnt, it'll do double damage and heal the burn. That would be amazing. Okay, so let's wait until the game comes out, and then we'll find out what's happening with it. But other than that, I mean, it does damage and then heals a burn, so what's the point? Why would you want to heal a burn on your opponent? Anyway, I digress. Moving on. Weird. Okay, so here we go. Meet the Guardians of the Alola region. This is interesting because we're getting even more of a bird's eye view shot of all the different islands. This is one of the islands that we saw at the very beginning. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. This is a different island. So looking around at it, look at these awesome areas over here. I'll point. Look at this area. That looks pretty cool with all the different water This looks like some sort of, I don't know, like a battle arena. I don't know what else is going on over here. It looks like a little bridge. I think we've seen him running on this bridge before. And of course, we got some coastlines and everything like that. This looks pretty cool. Akala Island. Akala Island. And yeah, that looks pretty decent. Okay, Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is over here. Psychic Surge is the ability. Psychic Fairy. Tapu Lele is the Guardian. And it's kind of like all those other terrain effects where you can go through and learn a little bit about it. And you can get like different, I don't know, like status effects. It prevents certain things. It boosts certain things. There's so many different types of terrain effects within Pokemon. So let's learn a little bit about that before we change away. So Drain and Kiss, obviously super effective on a dark type Rattata Alola form. But before we move on to the next one, let's go take a look at Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele. That's cool. All right, so Tapu Lele. All right, so here's Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele, Land Spirit Pokemon, Psychic Fairy. Okay, Psychic Surge. There's a legend which says that long ago, Tapu Lele once brought an end to war between the islands of Alola by scattering its scales and soothing the tired warriors. Tapu Lele scatters glowing scales that physically affect others, providing stimulation to their bodies and healing their illnesses or injuries. But these scales can be dangerous as well, because a body can't withstand the changes brought about by contact with too many scales at the same time. It will scatter its scales over humans and Pokemon for its own enjoyment. While it is innocent in one sense, there is also cruelty in the way it casually brings others to ruin. Ooh, wow. Yikes. If Tapu Lele doesn't have much energy stored in its shell, it may lack strength to seize victory in a head-on battle. With this in mind, it tends to prioritize not losing a battle over actually beating a foe, and it's skilled at strategies such as inflicting status conditions on opponents. Nature's Madness slams a target with all of its nature's rage, reducing the target's HP by half. Psychic Terrain. Okay, Nature's Madness. I don't think we saw Nature's Madness, did we? Okay, so it's got a custom move called Nature's Madness. So it's kind of like Super Fang, which does half their HP. That's pretty cool, regardless of what type it is. All right. Psychic Terrain is a move that no Pokemon was previously able to learn, and using it will boost the power of any Psychic-type move used by Pokemon on the ground and prevent them from being hit by priority moves. That's cool. That's very cool. So priority moves are my favorite moves in the game. I love them a lot. But Psychic type moves on grounded Pokemon. So if you have a Psychic Flying type, they probably would not work. Tapu Lele's ability is Psychic Surge. What? Hold on a second. Didn't I? Psychic Terrain. Oh, here we go. Psychic Surge. An ability. I thought that was like doubled over here. Okay, an ability that no Pokemon has previously had. With Psychic Surge, the field will be turned into Psychic Terrain when it appears, boosting the power of psychic moves. Okay, so immediately upon appearing, psychic terrain happens. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that in the trailer. So that looks pretty cool. So everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Tapu Lele. All right. Kind of creepy. Kind of very creepy. All right, let's go. Let's move on. So Ula's guardian is Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu, maybe comes from, like, the word bull, because he's got, like, that ring in his nose, and that's kind of what I'm thinking about it. Tapu Bulu, of course, before we go into that, we can see this brand new island, Ula Island. It looks pretty cool. We've got the gigantic mountaintop, which it looks like some sort of fortress is being built over here. A little bit of the island, coastal areas, maybe some resort area. Looks like some urban area, some forest over here. So it looks pretty interesting. Ula Island. Tapu Bulu. Okay, so he is a grass fairy type with the ability Grassy Surge. So kind of like the previous one, as soon as he brings on board, he's going to go through and make grassy terrain. So that's pretty interesting. Looking at this guy, he's grass and fairy type. So going through, doing a little bit of Horn Leech right on that Pokemon, getting a little bit of health back. So let's learn a little bit about Tapu Bulu right over here. Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu right here. Done. Land Spirit Pokemon, Tapu Bulu, Grassy Surge. Alright, Tapu Bulu has the power to manipulate vegetation and cause it to grow. It can use this power on its own horns, which are made of wood, changing their shape or making them larger. This can come in handy in battle. This stolid Pokemon is not very active. People's opinions differ on whether It's as docile as it seems, or if the reason it doesn't move much can be chalked up to simple laziness. Tapu Bulu does not like unnecessary battles or frightening other Pokemon. Because of this, it makes a loud ringing noise with its tail to alert those nearby of its presence. Although Tapu Bulu may not like to start battles, it shows no mercy when dealing with evildoers. It's said that when thieves once broke into its ruins, it punished them by swinging trees around like massive clubs. Tapu Bulu can learn Nature's Madness, an attack that slams the target with all of Nature's Rage, which reduces the target's HP by half. Wow. So, like, the theme seems to be that all of these not totem Pokemon, all these Island Guardian Pokemon have a custom move that does half damage. Interesting. Tapu Bulu's ability is Grassy Surge, an ability that no Pokemon has previously had. With Grassy Surge, the field will be turned into grassy terrain. When Tapu Bulu appears in battle, boosting power of any grass-type move used by Pokemon on the ground, and restoring a bit of HP to each of them in turn. Wow. Also has damage taken from moves like Earthquake, Magnitude, and Bulldoze. So that's going to be pretty good in competitive metagame. If you bring this guy out and you have another grass-type Pokemon that's on the ground, you'll get a little bit of health back, and you'll boost the grass-type moves of like Razor Leaf or Magical Leaf, anything that you want to use. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. Power of any grass-type moves used by Pokemon on the ground. So even if you don't have a grass type, wow, okay, that's interesting. So like Magical Leaf on Gardevoir would be pretty cool. Interesting. So yeah, there we have it. Tapu Bulu, ladies and gentlemen, Tapu Bulu. All right, so let's move on. We're going to go to Pony Island, or Pawnee Island, whatever you want to call it. Pawnee Island's Guardian. Looking at Pawnee Island over here, this looks pretty rocky. And maybe this is exactly, if you look over here, this might exactly be where the final Guardian sits. It looks like you got to maybe climb through the mountains over here, make some trials, and then you fight the Pony Island Guardian. You can also see like a docking area. You've got like a little, I don't know, there's a maze. It looks like some caves over here. Looking pretty cool. Pony Island. Pony Island. All right, so here we go. Tapu Fini. Okay, so you have the ability Misty Surge, Water Fairy type. Interesting. Misty Surge, looking good. Fighting the Alolan Exeggutor. Why? Why did they do that matchup? That's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a bad matchup. He's just gonna dominate you with his grass move. All right, so let's move and learn about this new Guardian over here. So many Guardians. Okay, so Tapu Fini, Land Spirit Pokemon, Water Fairy, Misty Surge ability. Okay, this Pokemon is able to create a special water that purifies both mind and body. Both Tapu Fini requires that supplicants wishing to obtain the purifying water demonstrate the strength to withstand the Tapu's fog. Many humans have tried to withstand Tapu Fini's fogs in pursuit of its purifying water. Among them were some with evil intentions, which may be the reason for Tapu Fini's sense of disgust and lack of interest in appearing to people. Okay. Tapu Fini is able to attack by manipulating water. Since it hates to risk harm to itself during battle, it prefers to create a thick fog that puts opponents in a trance and leads them to destroy themselves. Tapu Fini's expression remains listless even when it's unleashing moves. Some people say that it might look this way because using its moves is so exhausting. The Pokemon's Nature Madness attack slams a target with all Nature's Rage, reducing the target's HP by half. Okay, so everyone seems to have a Nature Madness. Got it. Tapu Fini's ability is Misty Surge, an ability that no Pokemon previously had. With Misty Surge, the battlefield will be turned to misty terrain when Tapu Fini appears in battle, having the damage taken by Pokemon on the ground from Dragon-type moves and preventing them from being afflicted with status conditions or confusion. That's pretty cool. So going through, totally shutting down Dragon-type Pokemon with this water type here. Okay, that looks great. Tapu Fini, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Okay, so here we go. Tapu Fini share a unique Z mood. All the Tapus do. So this is pretty good. So we're looking at a brand new Z power. All of them have this exact same one. I'm not really sure. But it looks like the Tapu go over here and attack with this gigantic yellow monster. And I love this little meme here. Bam! Give me that right now. So, yeah, interesting. So we're going to go through and encounter even more Pokemon. This one's a Cosmog. Cosmog is a little floating Cosmo Pokemon. Psychic, ability unaware, not bad. Let's go through and find out what's happening with Cosmog right now, because he looks fun. Okay, so Cosmog should be somewhere over here. Cosmog, where are you? Do we not learn about Cosmog? I don't know if the site's updated with Cosmog. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Let's click on Other. Yeah, here we go. Cosmog, yay! Alright, so here we go. A Nebula Pokemon, Psychic, Unaware ability. Unaware ability is going through and attacking Pokemon and ignoring their status ups. So in case you have a Pokemon that's at +6 defense, and this Pokemon does like a physical attack, it'll go right through that. So that's really good. This extremely rare Pokemon is known to only a select few in Alola. At one time, it was known only by the kings of Alola and their heirs, and it was called the Child of the Stars. The Aether Foundation is researching this unusual Pokemon, and one of the professors at the Foundation recently dubbed it Cosmog. Cosmog is very curious and shows no fear of people or Pokemon. If you treat it with any consideration at all, it will take an immediate liking to you. This personality trait often leads it into danger. Its gaseous body is so lightweight that it is sent flying when the wind blows. When the light falls on this Pokemon, Cosmog absorbs it and grows. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I definitely want a Cosmog now. Just saying, he looks great. So here we go, moving on. We've got Alola Persian. All right, yes, great. His face is nice and round and interesting. Very interesting. It kind of looks like Garfield, but I don't know. But let's go look at Alola Persian if he's on the site. How interesting. Alolan, here we go. Alolan Meowth, we already learned about that. That looked really cool. Alolan Persian, design choice. How does it go from like being like a narrow-faced cat to like this really chubby, I don't know, classy cat Pokemon? Okay, so Fur Coat is really good. So Fur Coat, if you guys remember Pokemon X and Y, Furfro had that ability where you halved all of your physical attacks that actually hit you. So you can make a really, really bulky one. The round face, maybe we're going to learn about it. Here we go. The round face of the Alolan Persian is a symbol of the rich Alola region, and it's held to be a Pokemon of great beauty. Interesting. It is such a distinctive Pokemon of the Alola region that all Persian are well protected, and strict inspections are required before tourists can be permitted to take one back home to their home region. Wow. Persian is highly intelligent with an even higher opinion of itself. In general, it looks down on everything other than itself. It doesn't tend to grow attached to its trainer either, so it's difficult for Pokemon to have this one as a partner in battle. Why? Why does it do that? Its exquisite coat shines with the glow of high quality and enchants both humans and Pokemon. For this reason, it's very popular. It's a very popular Pokemon in the Alola region. It usually puts on a refined act, but once the battle begins, it will indulge in the most underhanded of tactics, including surprise attacks, trickery, and even foul play. Yet, its haughty personality causes it to underestimate its opponents, and it's often taken in by their counterattacks. So Fur Coat's going to be pretty good for it. Technician's going to be really good for it, depending on what low base power attacks it does. Because if you remember, Technician boosts the power of low base power attacks, which is really good. So yeah, depending on what Technician attacks this thing has access to, or Technician boosted attacks, that's going to be pretty awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, chubby Alola Persian. Looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to go through and learn about the Pokemon League. This is Mount Lanakila, the highest peak in Alola. Alola, we're going to make an awesome league here, so you better become an awesome trainer. Okay, so Alolan champions can take on the battle tree, and you can fight Cynthia with her Garchomp, and you can team up with her too. And you can see Wally over here, and his Gardevoir, and his Gallade. I hope he has both. I don't know what he has. You can see over here that we've got Red and Blue, the legendary trainers from past. That's so fun. Nice to meet you, fellow champ. Yeah, what do you say, Red? And then Red, of course, doesn't say anything because that's what he says. Still silent as ever, eh? That's such a throwback to the previous generations. So here we go. Trainer Blue, of course, with his Alakazam from Gen 1. That's amazing. And, of course, we've got Trainer Red over here with his Pikachu from Gen 1, too. That's awesome. Now, that is it. That's the end of oh my gosh. But there's still some more, so don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about this because there's a little bit more information on the site. So that is amazing. All right, so let's go through. We're going to click on Pokemon Sun and Moon. So now we're going to learn about more guardian deities of the Alola region. We can click on that and learn some more. We learned of the 3 additional new ones. And yeah, this is pretty fun. So let's go over here. Let's, here, click on those. Oh, I don't think it shows anything else. No, we've learned everything we can learn about that. All right, so we're going to go over here. Strong opponents in the battle tree. So here we have it. Now, you can look at the art style over here, and they do look older, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a new direction for Pokemon, you know, making trainers age. Of course, we've seen the anime where Ash is like, what is he, like 10? And he's been like 10 for like 20 years now. It's been pretty insane. So it's great that they look a little aged. You can tell that they look a little bit aged based on like the complexion of Red's jaw. You can just see that. You can see like a little neckline over here. He does look a little bit older. Gary, on the other hand, or Blue, a little bit. You can see him look a little bit aged. That's so cool to me. All right, so somewhere in the Alola region, you'll find Battle Tree, a place where those trainers who have completed their island challenge or who are strong enough to have done so battle one another. All of the trainers you can encounter in the Battle Tree are strong. It seems you might even encounter 2 battle prodigies from the Kanto region. Cool. Scout partners to battle alongside you, Cynthia and her Garchomp. At the Battle Tree, you can scout an opponent you've won against, so they can partner with you in future battles. You may be able to scout some familiar faces. Take on Cynthia, ... You can take a look at the gallery over here. You can see Cynthia, and you can see her on your team with the Alolan Raichu, which looks pretty good. Musharna and Hariyama. That's interesting. Raichu, Garchomp, all level 50. Okay, and of course you can see Wally and his Gallade. Take on Wally. Wally's got 3 Pokemon over here. That looks cool. Oh, then you could... Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I missed that. Let's look on. So you attack him, and then, of course, and you're going to be fighting a Rotom and a Charizard. That's interesting. So Raichu and Gallade looking good. I want a Raichu so bad, an Alolan Raichu. That's going to be a staple on my team. Okay, so here we go. The Pokemon League. This is interesting. All right, so in the regions that have served as a settling for your adventures in the Pokemon series so far, the ultimate stage for battle has always been a place called the Pokemon League. The Pokemon League is where the Elite Four Pokemon trainers with powerful Pokemon partners, and the champion who reigns as the top of all trainers await challengers. A challenger who defeats the Elite Four and the champion will be hailed as the new champion of the Pokemon League. In the Alola region, the setting of Pokemon Sun and Moon, there is no league yet. There's no Pokemon League yet. But it seems that there are plans to construct one on the peak of a certain mountain. After the growth you achieve through completing the Island Challenge, will the day come when you can also take on the Pokemon League to become the strongest Pokemon trainer? Of course! That's awesome. So they're going to build the Pokemon League on the island. Alright, so there, we're looking over there, and you can see the Pokemon League in Pokemon Red and Blue. My generation that I grew up with when I was in middle school. I loved this game. And that is just bringing so many nostalgic kicks to me. And the Pokemon X and Y League looking good as well. So who knows what it's going to look like? It's going to be a surprise, or maybe they're going to release it. But I personally can't wait. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all the information we have for Pokemon Sun and Moon. You can see the official site over here. Definitely head on over to Pokemon-sunmoon.com, and you guys can explore even more. Now, that is going to be it. I'm so happy that we went through this video, and Pokemon Sun and Moon is right around the corner. Continue on watching all my Pokemon videos simply by clicking on that subscribe button and browsing the content on my channel. You guys can take a look at the Pokemon Sun and Moon playlist right over here. You can see the newest video on my channel there, and of course some recommendations right over here. I can't wait. I'm going to go through, we're going to do a 100% walkthrough of the game as soon as it comes out. So stay tuned, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next Pokemon Sun and Moon update. Bye.